whether you were an MD, PhD, or a flunky from high school, you're able to carry on a highly intellectual conversation at will. I think you were definitely under some very intense debriefing process from your work at S4, and it can sometimes make people forget certain things. I've met several military and government people that have been involved in these institutions of science that are working on these black projects, and when they go through the debriefing, they become sometimes schizoid, paranoia. And
well, I've been lucky because I've been working on the methods of debriefing so that I've insulated myself from the only thing I've ever heard was this fellow Benowitz who was deliberately trying. But mental control is here.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately.
As much as I support the government in the sense that they're under a great deal of pressure. They're under a great deal of pressure because if they had made a gradual process release of information a long time ago, it wouldn't be this critical now.
Well, I think
and they'll cover my degrees, they'll cover anyone who is giving the kind of interview I'm giving now. But you, in your, I don't know who you know, but you know some awfully high-ranked people. Because if they know, if you say that they know me and my work, I don't know how you have these contacts. I would have assumed these people would not give you that information.
The point is, though, somebody can run this audio of this videotape in front of a voice stress analyzer that's a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment used by many government agencies. And there are ways to beat it, but it's very rare. But I would say in your case, when you answer the question, did I work with extraterrestrials at S4, I think it would come across that you were definitely telling the truth.
Yeah.
As far as the degrees and such, I have not been able to confirm beyond your BS and your master's degrees, but even that's not important because your book is about much higher things than academic qualifications, because you can go up in front of any intellectual and carry your own weight and beyond. So the point is, here's an individual that checks out, in my book, that you had direct contact, working on secret projects with extraterrestrials for our government. That's amazing.
Well, your contacts must have been awfully high, and I don't know whether you gave them truth serum or what you did to gain that information.
But that's why I back your book. I back what you're all about, and I don't care about the other character assassinations they're trying to do, because your book's much more, your book is, and the information you have to share with the world is much more important than who you are.
It's about love. What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all, Michael. Do you have some statements you'd want to make if you were going to do a dissertation in front of...
I wanted to hear some more of what you found out about me, because I'm as curious to know how high you were able to get. I think I salute you. But what else did you find out that I can say yay or nay to?
Well, I'd have to say your case reminds me of the statement about Caesar with friends, Romans, and countrymen. I come not to bury Caesar or praise Caesar, but to bury him. For the good that man does is buried with him, and the bad and the wrong carries long after. And for a lot of the people that have tried to debunk you and such, when such profound statements are made by an individual, and even Carl Sagan, we all know him, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But in your case, and in a lot of cases regarding this phenomena, since the ETs aren't landing on the White House lawn to help back you up, it takes some real digging, and and I was able to get to my truth as far as what you're all about, and your main thing is the message you're trying to get across, and your book is very unusual, and half the people read it.
It's not an easy read.
It is not an easy
but
read.
It's worth it.
And I've met with publishers in New York who think the book is a work of a genius. Well, in my book, in many ways, you are a genius. No matter, I don't care if you flunked out of high school. I've met with you enough times to know you're way beyond the average human. Sometimes I even wonder if you're not from around here. But if you were speaking in front of a group of hundreds of college students, because they're the ones that are going to make the world of the future, what is some statements you would have liked to have shared with them that secretly you couldn't before because of your security clearances that you could talk to them?
Secret stuff I'd like to share with them is just that you are of a group, I believe, who expect visitors. The children growing up, and they're wonderful, wonderful children who don't question whether there's life out there. They're asking, when's it coming? Well, it has come. And very soon, all of this is going to be somewhat academic. I'm afraid that a lot of what one person called noisy negativists that he finds difficult to deal with is a noisy negativist himself. And unfortunately, it's people like this that are going to find that the halo of science is going to come off the head of science, and new and miraculous things. If you were born 50 years ago and just posited here, you'd look around and you'd say, my God, I don't know what this is supposed to be.
Michael, do you feel, after what you've worked on and been involved with through all these years, do you feel now that a small group of people within the powers of the governments of the world had a right to keep such a profound statement of we're not alone and we've never been alone, away from mankind? Was that justified?
I have to say that the answers are so startling that yes, it was justified.
Why do you feel that?
Well, I think it would have caused economic panic, religious panic. I want to say something about the way each of us wakes up in the morning. We pretty much know what's going to happen to us.
Can you? With Dr. Michael Wolff, and you were.
Wolff.
That's my accent from from Massachusetts. And you were saying about how
That's
people
a nice
get up.
country.
People get up every day and they really.
Yes. This is key to why the government